Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to another late night here on the East Coast. How y'all doing? Hopefully pretty good. Man. I do like me some Battle Brothers. We got some in last night. I kind of got a taste for it again. And I think they've tweaked the game somewhat. Well, that's okay, Fox. I can explain the game again. Battle Brothers is kind of... I mean, I think it should be played in an Iron Man style mode. So we're just going to go off that. That's just how I believe the game should be played. So if we go off that, it's very similar to XCOM meets Mountain Blade. Does that kind of make sense? It's very visceral and cool, and in this sort of dark, like a low fantasy setting. It's very similar to, what is that old German role-playing game? Darklands or something. It's called Darklands, yeah. But if you're not familiar with that... Oh, Twitch switched back to host? This should be good. But anyway, it's a very, very visceral feeling, but very difficult... tactical war game. There are campaign elements, but it's a lot looser in this. The economy is a lot nastier in games like Mountain Blade, and actually the economy is probably the biggest problem I have with the game. But it does feel like they've made some tweaks. So we'll pick a banner here. I usually go with this one. Hang on. Where is he? I usually go with this one. I think it's a lot of fun. Just sort of like the king who's been beheaded, and he's like, whatever. But let's go with something else, right? Get a different vibe for tonight. I really like the imagery here, so I'm going to go with it, actually. There are some very pretty ones. I'm also quite partial to... I mean, this one is very nice. About that boar's pretty cool. This is a very good one. Obviously, like the Templar sort of feel. I like this a lot. A lot of fun. It's got my coloring. If it wasn't for like the bones, I'd be all for it. I just like to take a little bit, but I like this one here. We'll call this the. What do we do? The Late Night Boys was our last one. We didn't. Hey, nailed it. Nice, dude. Oh, well, thanks, Yanks. Yeah, we didn't lose the campaign I started last night, but I did receive an email from a gentleman, some interesting information, mostly saying, hey, you know, be a big boy and fight off the harder difficulty. So... random late game crisis is... Oh shit, thanks Yanks. I don't know cheers as well as I probably should, but I feel like that was a bigger number than not. So mucho apreciado, my dudo. Wowza. Hopefully you're doing good in life. And that was part of that. Either way. The economic difficulty, I did beginner last night and I was doing pretty good. So I'm going to jump it up the veteran, but I'm going to keep starting funds on high because this game is extremely punishing. And it's one of those games where you really need the snowball. If you don't snowball, you know, things... Yeah, we'll talk about that. Either way, I was playing on veteran last night and I was kind of destroying it. And a gentleman said, like, look, you're doing good on the veteran. There's no reason not to bump it up the expert. And it's not so much that the enemies are going to be a lot harder, just they're going to be a lot better armored early on. So you're kind of gambling with some nastier early fights, and you're going to be, you know, dealing with tougher things and higher stats. But for the most part, if you're crushing the early game as veteran, you'll enjoy the challenge of expert, essentially. But I am going to stick with veteran economic difficulty because unlike in games like Mount and Blade where you can go around, you can do trade runs, and you can do all sorts of cool things, there's not a lot of income options in this game. It's your mercenary band. Trade is kind of a secondary thing. Trade in this game is sort of more of something you pick up goods, and if you can find an opportunity to sell them, you do so. But you know, do we do Iron Man? Let's not do Iron Man so we can have a nice big run. I did Iron Man last night with no problem. But since we're not doing that, I'll get a little notepad here, and maybe we can chart out some prices for trade should we need. I mostly just record like the big stuff, like tools and ammo. But I'll explain this game if you guys don't know it. It's really good, and I'm actually, I kind of lucked out. Last night I think was a fairly quiet stream. I don't think there was a lot of people around, which is nice because, like I said, it is a very punishing game with a lot of like sort of hidden mechanics, and not hidden in the sense like the original StarCraft, but hidden in the sense they're sort of obtuse. And a lot of things you sort of want to plan from stage 1. And thankfully for me, just playing for like the 2 hours or whatever I did last night, I think I remembered everything I need to know. So it ended up being good, but that means I can jump in tonight with more of a helpful tutorial sort of sensibility, as opposed to last night where I was like, I'm pretty sure this was a mechanic in the game, I just don't remember how to do it. And then by the end of the night going like, oh yeah, I pushed this button, type of deal. But I don't think any other game has nailed just the feel of playing a mercenary band anywhere near what this one has. Mount and Blade has its moments, but in Mount and Blade you always feel like you're trying to be the king or to play the kingmaker, if you know what I mean. Even if you're just running around by yourself, it just feels like these are things you do in between those. So I'll read off the story then, since some of you weren't there. And I think the story's a little bit fun. The tutorial mission is not this one, but the second one is skippable. But we're going to do it anyway, because it's a pretty fun little mission. Jumps you into a fairly fair fight. It all went wrong. 2 days ago, the company was hired to track down Hoggart the Weasel and his band of raiders. But it was them who found you first. An ambush. Some joke about horses cut short by an arrow to the throat. Arrows shooting in from everywhere and nowhere. Men holler and scream, a great volume before death. As the hail subsides, you draw your weapon with the rest of the men, only to collapse to your knees. An arrow has punctured your side. You shout in pain. A harried glance sees the men charge without you to make a valiant last stand, met in force as steel clashes with steel. You meet eyes with the captain, a last nod before his throat is cut. Left in command now, of what few men remain. Trembling in pain, you lead on your sword, and with all the will you can muster, slowly rise again. To the end! So, I love how you just start just watching everyone around you get brutally murdered. It's good. Good stuff. Oh, he didn't... Okay, yeah, I was gonna say. Pretty sure everybody dies. And there's Hoggart the Weasel. As far as I know, he's randomly generated what he looks like, which is kind of cool. And here's our little cast of characters, which we'll be renaming shortly. But it's the 3 starting boys you start with. And first off, I'm going to say I love the art style for this game. Second off, each of these characters is slightly better stat-wise than you're going to be finding for a long time. It's not that you can't hire characters with these stats as a baseline, and base stats are very important. It's just they tend to be expensive. Why don't they have legs? Yes. Yes. Raymar the Half-Man. No, you know what? I just like it, but I don't know. It just cuts them off at the boob. Artist didn't know how to draw feet. True. I can zoom out. By the way, you can see the maps are quite big and nice. which is important because this game actually has a nasty scaling that it doesn't tell you about, but it scales fights to you. So it's very important you don't outscale yourself. So unlike in the original XCOM where you would hire a whole bunch of crap and you would sort of weed through, or that's how I prefer to play anyway. This is more similar to new XCOM, where you want to train up the few and hire less because you'll end up in situations where you just struggle. That said, death happens quite common in this game. So we have Crossbow Man, Axe Man, and Spear Wall Man. We can change these up. There's tons of different equipment. They all have extremely different uses and benefits and stuff like that. You want to hire the good people from the start? You usually can't afford them, Dino. But I don't know. We'll see. Because I usually just hire the crap, and I make them into chaff for the good ones. Either way, so we start just right now with a basic crossbow, which is actually very good. You can see there's tons of information on each of these. Yeah, I know, Foxy. I should probably change that at some point. Sorry about that. Either way, the crossbow, it does high damage, it can ignore armor, and it deals pretty good damage to armor when it hits armor. So it's you know, an anti-armor range weapon. The penalty of it, compared to a bow, is it has to be reloaded. So it only costs 2 AP to fire, which you can see you have 9 here, but 7 to reload. I think it's 7. We'll find out in a second. We're going to take a shot at the guy who doesn't have a shield. You know, makes sense. Yeah, 7 to reload. So we'll do that. Let's talk about stats, shall we? We have, these are our 6 main ones. There are more in the expanded stats, but we'll look at those later. To begin with, we have action points, turn units, time units, whatever you want to go with. But essentially you have so many, usually 9. And that's how much like movement, attacks, etc. you can do in a turn. So you really want to balance things around that. Always good to make it less people to hit you, yeah. That was kind of a weird way of saying that, Fox. I was a little dyslexic. Next you have fatigue. Fatigue is super cool. You regenerate 15 fatigue a turn. You need this for everything. Moving costs fatigue. Getting hit costs fatigue. Dodging hits costs fatigue. Because, you know, it's your character jumping around in fights. Equipping armor lowers your maximum fatigue. So, yeah, you want to be heavily armored? That's great. But now you're going to get tired quicker. Attacking. Using special attacks uses a shitload of fatigue. So, you're always kind of balancing that. Then you have your 3 health stats. You have your head armor, your body armor, and your hit points. If somebody rolls and like, when you attack someone, you randomly will hit the head or the body. Usually the body. Some weapons are more likely to hit the head. But if you hit the head for, say, 40 damage at this point, 20 will come off, destroy my helmet, and deal the other 20 to the actual hit points, at which point any health damage you sustain could cause injuries. Now, it gets a bit crazier. No legs, no leg armor. I like that a lot. So if we look at something like the axe, which is extremely powerful, you can see it does 52 to 105 damage to hit points, of which 0 to 42 can ignore armor. And then it deals armor damage on top of that. Yes, so now not every enemy is going to be equipped with the 2-handed weapon. They do kind of like little farts around. It's like somebody moving a playing piece in chess, Fox. But yeah, you can start seeing like, oh, That can do 105 damage, 60 health. Either way, we're going to wait a turn here with this character. We're going to pop over here. And we're going to do the pro strats. We're going to move up to protect our range unit. Do a spear wall. Spear wall is one of my favorite abilities. Very powerful. Kind of early on, but the AI is super clever to it. So you kind of do double baits with it. You spear wall not to do the ability of the spear wall, but to force an opponent to avoid the spear wall. It's just essentially your character pointing a stick out at them. And what it does is, if an opponent moves to a space next to you, you will attempt to attack them. If you hit them, it will knock them back, and then they can try and move up again. Once they get in, though, they're in. But if you get lucky, you can keep pushing them off. This is also good because spears are more accurate. So it kind of works out. We're going to spear wall. Now you'll see that used a lot of our fatigue. He's already at 38 out of 72. But we'll get 15 back next turn. And right here, we're actually just going to chill with our spearman. Or our axeman. The axe is extremely powerful. We could go here and try and hit this guy. It's a lot better we'd play defensive right now. Hopefully don't die. So you see he'll move in. And that's fine for me. Now, let's try firing this shot again. Okay, that's a miss, unfortunately. And we're going to go for a little chunking. Okay, the shield took that, which is super unfortunate. You can die in this tutorial. It can and will happen. The more units you have next to an opposing unit, is like flanking bonuses. You get better chances of hitting, which is good. You also lower their morale, which is nice. Morale is a huge thing in this game. If you recall... Oh, well, this guy's probably dead. Oh. Okay, well, thank God for that shield. Like I said, the game is not your friend. That's super unfortunate. Okay, that helps. Not great. We might have to do a restart, because if these characters die, that's pretty much GG. Our enemies want the blue badges. Yeah, they have a different... Enemies will always face left. And we always face right. Aside from that, yeah. Also, I'm terrible in this game for like having a 78% chance to hit and missing every time. I'm banking on the fact if we get through the shield and kill this guy, that this guy will panic. It's not guaranteed though. Oh, he didn't die. Oh! Oh! Whew. It's kind of lucky right there, actually. Nice. Yeah, that's right, Dino. I mean, like I was saying, though, there is just insane RNGs on occasion. Nice. So not too bad. One thing I like about this game, though, is it tracks all these stats after a battle, so you can be like, hey, wow, he is actually the half-man. What the fuck? I thought we were joking. That's hilarious. But so, you know, 1 kill each. The damage is sort of your big set, usually. And Bertold here took a ton of shit and isn't going to be healed up for 3 days, which is kind of a problem. And we got some equipment. Equipment is crazy in this game because you literally only get, unless you're buying it, which is very expensive, you literally only get it off your opponents. So if you see your opponents have armor you want, trying to not damage their armor is a good way of getting it. Oh, absolutely, Dino. You're alive. You've won. Barely. The adrenaline fades, and in its wake, you can't help but sink back to the ground. Gritting your teeth, you snap the arrow's shaft. Your chest heaves, painful breath. Everything blurs. The company has been devastated, cut down to but a few men. I love the fact, too, like, I exist in this game as the new captain. I'm taking over from the old one who just died. But I don't actually exist in you know, the world. I can't fight alongside you, sorry. And that bastard Hoggart did justice to his name, fleeing like the weasel he is. What now, Captain? A voice says from behind. It's Dietmar. We'll find out who that is in just a minute. Who sits down beside you, bedding his bloodied axe on his legs. You turn to him to reply, but before you can answer, he continues. Bernard's dead. They slit his throat. He was a good man and a damn good leader. All it took was one mistake. Makes you the one in charge now, don't it? Reinmar the half-man joins the two of you, still breathing heavily. And Bertold. Save the ceremony and anointments for another day. Let's give the... Oh, I think this is me, actually. Let's give the men a good burial, and return the Upping to collect our pay. Weasel's men are slain, after all. I'm injured too much to fight anymore. I mean, I healed the arrow wound really quickly in the story, so... Besides, Captain. Oh, never mind. It was Dietmar. We have to see to that wound before we lose you, too. Wouldn't want to leave Raymar the half-man in charge. No! He's but half a man! So here is the game map, and we kind of got fucked. So the game map is randomly generated, which is cool. I like that. What I was saying when we kind of got fucked, though, is we're up here. And normally you kind of want to spawn in the middle. But that's okay. It just means we'll probably be leaving Upping behind. But it is a very terrible spawn. You really do want to be more centralized if you can. But that's okay. Oh yeah, I suppose we should rename our crew. So, yes, all your equipment that takes damage will slowly be fixed up over time. Slowly. It requires tools to do so, which we'll eventually run out of. Healing up takes time. We might actually camp, because we have two people who are light wounded. And we're not going to be able to do the next tutorial fight like that. No way, no how. So let's see, who wants to be the half-man? I think making Zelphus the half-man is kind of jokes. We also have a character who's very good at melee fighting. We'll probably make him a berserker of sorts. And we have the man who's actually not great. Wow, got some Wonga melee skills, so this will probably be our tanky boy. 6 HP light wounds. That's right, man, it's fine. No biggie. What a story display it must be for the onlookers as you arrive in Upping. You should leave the half-man part? I don't think I can change it, Pox. Titles are just sort of given. Sorry. What a story display it must be for the onlookers as you arrive in Upping. Upping, what a weird name. I was expecting something more Germanic. 4 bloodied and beaten mercenaries down on their luck. The man who hired the company days ago, Egil of Upping, no doubt expected you to return in a more glorious fashion. It's this gentleman up here. Still, he welcomes you to his house and offers bread and wine while a servant fetches a healer. Few words are exchanged, except the occasional grunt and wheeze of an elderly man with a shaky hand that tends to your wounds. A pin pierces your skin, the first of many stitches to come. You grit your teeth till you think you hear one break. Egil of Upping sits beside you and asks if you took care of Hoggart. You shake your head. We killed his men, but the weasel eluded our blades in the end. The healer waves around a glowing fire poke, suggesting he wants to push it into your wound. You nod, and he does so. For a moment, that's all there is. You're not a man, but a pinch of fire, flesh from flame, a golem of pain. Egil of Upping hands you a goblet of wine. Sorry. You did well, Sellsword. The brigands have been removed, though it is a shame that Hoggart still lives. Yeah, you're the guy in the back, Dino. Yeah, Egil Volbingast. Well, naturally, 400 crowns is agreed upon. He gestures towards a servant who rushes to your side with pay in hand. I wonder if I may make use of your services one more time. I'd very much like to end the headache that is Hoggart once and for all. And I would pay you again, of course. Another 400 crowns, shall we say? Dietmar scoffs and turns to drink more wine, but Berthold stands to speak. Yes, the company is in ruin, but we will rebuild it. Without the late-night boys, Dietmar would drink the crowns away and end up begging in the streets. And Reimar the half-man, by the gods, we all know he'd be chasing the women folk until one stove his rotted head in. We need the late-night boys, it's all we have. What say you, Captain? Dietmar burps and raises his cup to you. Reimar the half-man playfully thumbs his nose and nods. Kill that bastard, Hoggart, or not. It's up to you, Captain. Yes, we do have unfinished business with Hoggart. It's kind of a tough fight, but I like it. Egil of Upping claps his hands in satisfaction. Excellent. My little birds need some time to find where Hoggart's hiding now. In the meantime, I suggest you see about stocking up on supplies so be good and ready to end this when the time comes. I shall see you in a few days' time at the latest. As you leave Egil of Upping's house and stand at the outskirts of Upping, Berthold seeks a word with you. We need more men, Captain. I know I gave a big speech back there, but bravado won't do shite. We need more warm bodies in the ranks. Figure we find 3 good men, buy them some decent weapons, and dress them in the best armor we can afford. Not fucking happening. I'm gonna grab 3 pig herders. I'm gonna give them pitchforks, maybe a shield, and I'm gonna throw them at the enemy, and it's gonna be glorious. And it'll work, too. Maybe. The man pauses to glance around. I bet this podunk town's got a desperate peasant or two looking for a new life. We could travel to Scats instead! To the northeast. No, fuck that place. Them city folk aren't always as hardy as these country bumpkins, but we're more likely to find men with fighting experience stopping the rest there. Cool. So we're actually going to leave the town, even though we have our quests. And we're going to make camp. So while you're camping, you're not doing anything, which means you're bleeding money, rations, stuff, because, yes, we require 2 units of food per character in our party per day. We have to pay all of them because we're mercenaries. But it is what it is. Anyway, I want to make camp so we heal faster. Essentially, when you're camping, you'll heal and repair things at twice the rate. So we'll do this a little bit. Just so we can get down to maybe 1 day left on Berthold's healing. For them food and pay, do they just leave? They start leaving, yeah. Or they revolt. Usually lose them like 1 by 1, though. So we'll wait for the next morning. We'll go hunting for men. That'll be perfect. Okay. So Upping, every town has randomly generated stuff. This one happens to have a weaponsmith, which is kind of cool. They have a lot of really good things that we'd like, but we can't afford. So we'll just ignore that. Whoa! Is that a heavy cleaver? Cleavers are cool. Anyway, let's go to the marketplace, shall we? What are we going to need? We're going to need shields. Like proper shields. So we start with 2,900 bucks. Technically 2,500, but we did a mission for 400. Watch as we spend all of this. Very quickly. I do want a spear. And for right now, that's okay. And I think we need a hat. Yeah, we need a hat for the half-man. Get him a little hoodie. You see, not everything you buy... we're also going to buy all these grains. Not everything you buy is going to be fully repaired, which is kind of interesting. Actually... ammo's not too bad here. I'll make note of that. So this is Upping. And these are the big things you want to keep note of. Ammunition. Now, the game has a really handy tooltip system. Whereas if I look at this, it says it's worth 100, but I can buy it for 148. But ammunition here is 148 currently. Things can affect that, but that's good. This is sort of one of the major trade goods you're going to want to be buying. I've seen it much worse than that. I've seen that up to 300 before. We don't need ammunition right now, because here's another cool mechanic in the game, of which there are many, and you'll hear me say that a lot. Unlike games like Mount and Blade, for example, your quiver of 10 bolts, which means you go into a fight with 10 shots. You still have to reload every time, but you have 10 maximum shots that fight. It will be refilled to 10 after the fight, as per a normal game, but every shot you use comes out of your ammunition stores. So that's really cool. Let's give the half-man a hood here. I think it would be funny having Zelf as the half-man, am I wrong? So let's do that. I think maybe we'll have... I mean, Fox is always a liability. So let's have Dino. And Dietmar here will be Yanks. Yeah, maybe we put a... Perfect. I'm not sure if you can change the title. Oh, you can. Nice. I know on some characters you can't. Oh, that's kind of fun. We can give them our own titles. For right now, though, we're going to keep their equipment as is. We'll throw a buckler in Zelphus's backpack, because he's actually okay at melee combat. 50 is about sort of a, you know, an alright number. So he can sort of tussle with the muscle if he has to. Let's see, anyone good to hire? We have a brawler. So here's how this works. Everyone has randomly generated backstories and stats and traits and blah blah blah. Their profession sort of affects their minimum and maximum rolls for certain stats, which is kind of cool. You're saying there's 50% chance higher of your character dying? Yes, I am. Yeah. And you have to pay them an upfront cost, which usually is mostly for equipment and stuff. And then you have a daily wage you'll have to pay for them. This brawler is actually really fucking expensive. 13. Like, what do we pay you guys every day? What are your wages, you son of a bitch? 15. Okay. So, we got 2 farmers and a brawler. We're gonna wait. We're gonna check the other town out, and then we'll come back. But I think brawlers are generally pretty good because they're decent. Well, fuck it. We'll hire this guy. You can also try out a character, which all that does is you pay them a bit of money, and it'll reveal their traits ahead of time, because there are some bad traits in this game. Another cool thing, the profession of a character can cause events to happen. So that's kind of a fun thing that you can have happen. So we'll see this guy here. So he is a brawler, plus 100% damage when unarmed. Never gonna happen, sorry. Strong. Well-fed and buffed to the max, plus 10 max fatigue. Oh, that's not too bad. We like that. Well, for right now, you're on our side. I think I'll probably have another guy take the spear position, but for right now, I like it. It's pretty good. Strong boy, yeah. What do you think here? We can make this one Fox. I feel like it's trouble, but I don't really want this guy to die. We need to recruit 2 more guys, and it might be these 2 farmers. And actually, this guy comes with a pitchfork, which I'm going to want to buy anyway. How many characters can you have in battle at once? I think 12. But you can have a company of 20. Because you're going to need to sub people in and out as they get injured. I don't know, it'd be crazy if you could have all 12 in a fight at once. Either way, let's go do our mission. One thing you'll note, unlike Mount and Blade, this game does not auto-pause. So that's the thing. And you can see we're already bleeding through that starting crown. Currently paying 58 crowns a day, but whatever. Along the way, as Skagensted's skyline appears on the horizon, Zelphus the Half-Man seeks a word with you. Never been to Skagenstad before, but I've been around the ones that look a lot like it. Cities like these are... Oh, it's a little man, I forgot. Cities like these are great for selling goods. I'm just kidding. It's all these pretty, pompous pricks love to have their goods delivered. So many merchants, you can find almost everything you need, too. Keep an eye out for bargains, and don't get swindled by them cutthroat merchants. And why Yanks sees fit to have his own opinion what you should do. If there's a good tavern, I say that's where we go first. Nothing helps a man down on his luck more than a good pint. God knows we earned it. Zelphus the Half-Man shakes his head. You say that every time we stop in town. You say that even when you're already drunk. Now I just wait for him to start whining about second breakfast. We should look at our stats, though. Randomly generated, of course. We have Dino. He's bloodthirsty. All kills are fatalities. Damn! This character is prone to excessive violence and cruelties towards enemies. An opponent isn't good enough dead. His head needs to be on a spike. Okay. Yanks has sure footing for extra melee defense. That's kind of wonky, actually. Almost makes me want to swap these two around. And Zelphus is tiny, so he does less melee damage, but more melee defense and range defense. Being very short of height, this character is used to slipping through. And he's also ailing. He's always pale and sickly, which makes him particularly susceptible to poisons. And we'll just do a quick round out of our other stats that we didn't really get to talk about. We know about head armor, body armor, hit points, action points, fatigue, morale. This goes up and down in the game. You've seen this probably in a lot of things like XCOM. Resolve, however, is your sort of mental fortitude. This is your willpower, your bravery, etc. This affects whether or not, or how devastating an individual action is to your morale, and whether you panic or resist enemy attacks. Initiative is how quickly you go in turn, which makes sense. But heavy armor reduces that. Actually, I think fatigue in general reduces this. So later on in the fights, or if you do a lot of special attacks, you'll end up going slower and slower and slower. Melee skills, your chance to hit. Range skill, your chance to hit. Melee defense, your chance to not get hit. This actually just reduces their melee skill. I'm not sure if it's directly by your melee defense, but something like that. Range defense, of course, damage, blah, blah, blah. Effectiveness against armor. Chance to hit the head, which is 25% by default, and then vision. And then each weapon, like I said, gives different bonuses. Just the spear in general, its default attack is plus 20% chance to hit. So very accurate, but not a lot of damage. So I still kind of like having them, though, in the flanks. The panic spirals aren't real. They can't hurt you. Yeah. You can see there's contracts here. Actually, quite a bit of them. But we can't take them because we're on a mission. What the hell? This is actually like a decent town. It's just in the middle of frick nowhere. So they have a barber. Is this free? Holy shit. We need to get Fox some... crazy, Well, now we're talking. Beautiful. Fox and Dino are... Oh my god, Dino, what is going on? Fox and Dino are berserkin boys. Let's get you some better hair, okay? Because that's just unacceptable. Sure, we'll give you this one. Can we get some crazy hair color? Yes. There's the berserkin boys. Mohawk? Alright, I'm down with it. does the marketplace have? We don't buy that farmer. we'll probably buy the farmer because a fucking trained falcon. Jesus. So ammo here is expensive. Tools are okay. So this is, I forget what the name of this fucking town is. Skedding or something. Tools 239. Ammunition 79. Oh. Always buy grain if you see it and it's a decent price. Copper ingots. Cool, cool, cool. Yeah, he's a cute little falcon bird. We're gonna pass though. We are gonna buy another shield. Do we want another shield? We need 2 more guys. Where are they gonna go? We definitely want 1 more shield. And we'll have 1 guy in the back with a pitchfork. We want the best armor we can buy, which is that thick tunic. Yes. And potentially his apron. By Ann Hat. Looks good to me. Okay. What do you have here? Anyone good? Holy shit! Just a straight up frickin' raider. No, that's okay though. Oh, we can get another brawler. That's fun. We can get a poacher for another rangeman. That's kind of fun, actually. Peddler. Peddlers are not used to hard physical labor or warfare, but they do excel at haggling for good prices. Interesting. Okay, well, I want that 1 farmer. I kind of want to buy the poacher. We have a range boy. And he's only $9 a day. Sure. Good. I forgot to read his story. Shit. Sorry. Because everyone does have their little thing. I wonder if there's a way to read their story again. But he didn't have any quirks or traits or nothing. So that's good. Yeah, not bad, because he comes with the bow. And a hood. So it's kind of hard to complain with that. And yeah, farmer boy here. Yeah, that's how it's going to end up looking. Okay. Not too bad. Not too bad. Actually, we'll throw our little hood on Fox here. Because I do want a pitchfork. Actually, normally I really want pitchforks. Oh fuck! What do we need? I did visit here. I think it's because I didn't recruit another guy. So this is actually interesting. We don't need that farmer. Because normally I wouldn't have a second range guy. I'd have a pitchfork in the back. Are you even a decent shot? You're okay. Wow, tons of health though. Ooh, tons of melee defense. Might not end up being a poacher for long. Why don't we just grab another brawly boy? The legendary straw hat versus the sword, yeah. Well, it works for Monkey D. Luffy, so. We have here a hard upbringing by his father and brothers. Honeck burnt into a temperamental fighter. Fiery in spirit, he's always willing to take up fisticuffs. Local fighting rings say he's got a mean left hook. Years of martial combat practically destroyed his memory. Some think he mistook a mercenary camp as an item on his shopping list. Sure, welcome aboard. You sound the kind of guy we want. Any good? Garbage. Oh, wow, though. Okay, decent morale. Decent in the melee fight. Could be useful to us. Put on your aprons and this reinforced wooden flail. So it's kind of interesting. The short sword does more damage and is more accurate. But the flail has kind of an interesting thing here where it ignores shields. It ignores enemy shields. You can also use it to hit the head, if you like. It's kind of cool. I like it. It gives you a little bit of jank. I think the sword's probably a little better overall, but that's fine. What are his traits? Yeah, good call. Sure footing, extra melee defense, and iron lungs, +4 fatigue recovery per turn. Ooh. That's actually kind of interesting. I could kind of see this guy being like Berserky Boy or something. We'll have to see though, right? We'll have to see. I think we'll make this guy, what do you think? Borrowed? Get Borrowed in here? Nice. Let's head back to Upping. Hopefully we'll be fully recovered by then, yeah. You ever finished Soma? No. I think I found out it was much longer than I thought it was. That's okay. We should, though. I really like Soma. Egil of Upping is pacing back and forth when you find him. Yeah, Bannerman's interesting. Interesting idea. The healer who damn near killed you with the fire poke is standing nearby. He's picking chunks of dried blood out of his fingernails. Egil of Upping claps his hands. Finally, you're here. I've good news. Got hold of one of Hoggart's former men. My good friend here had a nice little talk with the man, and now I know where Hoggart's licking his wounds. The healer clears his throat, splaying his fingers out like a maiden looking to paint them. He speaks as though he's identifying a disease he's about to excise. Did women paint their nails back in, I don't know, 600? Who knows? Actually, we have iron, right? So this is more like 1400. The brigand known as Hoggart is hiding in a small hut in the tundra to the northwest of here. Based upon my most civil discussion with one of his men, Hoggart knows the late night boys is on his heels and will have gathered more men since the last time he met him. Good luck, Sellsword. Well, I think we need a hat, right? Just one, though. And farming hat. We should probably buy these 2 thick tunics as well. Just for slightly better protection. Yeah. This thick tunics 35. Yeah, we'll do that. Means we'll be probably going second in a fight, but that's okay. At least we're feeling pretty good about that. And actually, I guess we'll keep you on range duty for now. Okay, let's go fight Mr. Hoggart. We actually probably want to fight this guy during the day. Let's do a save here. Wait, is that us? Us. Okay. Probably want to fight them during the day because we have 2 archers. And fighting the opponent at night means your archers are much less accurate, as you can imagine. Dawn's probably fine. Scout reports that he's seen the following. Some brigand thugs. You don't know. 1 to 5 maybe. A brigand poacher. So for sure they have 1 archer. Disengage. So randomly generated maps every time. We might wait. See what their archer does. Their archer's probably going to get a shot off, and then the enemy will move in. And I think that'll be fine. So Archer Boy's probably going to try the yanks here, I'd imagine. Oh. It's fine. Let's see what they do. Archer can't see shit, fires arrow in the alley. Yeah. Okay. Okay. We got some targets for our range boys anyway. This might be a, you know, a bit of a tough fight for us, but that's okay. It's okay. We're gonna pop Dino Fox. Okay. Gonna pop in with our spear walls. Zelphus. Oh fuck, buddy. Need these early shots to hit, unfortunately. Be good. Okay. Well, that's fine. We missed all our shots, which means next turn we won't miss any of them. I think that's how that works anyway. Move yanks. What do you need to hit? 6. So you have to be able to move 1 tile to attack. Yeah, we'll keep you here. Okay. Let's try this again, shall we? Thank you. Okay, yanks, just wait. You'll have your time soon enough. Beautiful. Oh, nice. I was saying, if we could take this guy out before he gets his shield wall up. So, we'll probably give Yanks the opportunity there for that. 4 and 4. I have time to do that. These guys are still moving. Okay, let's keep playing defensive. Get our spear wall up and we'll just wait. And there's Hoggart himself. He has his shield wall up. He's actually gone already. Just wait. I know. Shield wall. I'm just gonna wait. Yeah, it's similar to Pit People. Ah, beautiful. Dino, don't let him in. I think you got stunned, unfortunately, Foxy. Thankfully, though, Yank's in a position to do some choppa. So we could try and split this guy's shield, which is kind of fun. Or we could just go for the big chonky hit. Oh, fuck me. Wowza, though. Okay. See what it's gonna be. Or do you want to go for a headshot? Beautiful. Okay. Dino, you keep waiting. Beautiful. Alright, let's try and pick on this guy a little bit. Yanks is looking a little sketchy right now. Truth be told. I think maybe we do just split his shield. It's always hard to say, right? Because if I get this hit, it like... This guy's gonna be in a bad spot. There it is! That's what we like to see. So Hoggart here. See if his shield up. think so. We could risk the shield and go for a headshot on this guy. Just, honestly, it seems pretty good. Okay, let's do it again. Okay, bad luck. Bad luck happens. Yank's got a pierced side and a broken nose, but he's alive. That's the important thing. Okay, we're gonna try and keep Yanks alive here. I think we'll pop Fox. No, that guy should be dead. Fox over here. We'll get Dino in on this. Okay. Okay, his shield is up now. Nice. Zelphus, if you please. Okay, we really needed that hit to go through, actually, not gonna lie. Woohoo! That's what I like to see. You don't have a way of dealing with them, so you just wait. Yanks can't get there and do anything crazy. Yanks, you just kind of pop back here to safety. Just for right now. Kind of rude how you just sit on dead people. Yeah! Yeah, I can see that. He does have his shield wall up, unfortunately. Let's see if we get lucky with the headshots here. Fox. Oh, I see the tree. Headshot. Oh, it's like no fucking chance. I had to go for it though. Okay, so I guess we're gonna try to hop out. Oh, beautiful! What a shot! Okay. Nice. That's what we like to see. Yeah, they're archer boys getting scared now. It's every 35% shot you don't take. That's absolutely correct, dude. It is totally how I feel. Can't quite get that poacher. We can take a shot at Hogger, though. You know, maybe his shield will slowly become damaged. Bastard. Oh, he's bleeding. Oh, we gotta go for the headshot. We gotta do it. Shield wall. We get a headshot on this guy. He's got some decent armor, I wouldn't mind. Fuck. Come on, Borrowed. Get your shit together, man. Oh yeah, that guy just fucking bye. He's just bouncing. Fair enough. See, fatigue really coming into play here. Wow. We missed even just the normal strike on this guy. He might just bleed. Honestly, I think we can just get him to bleed to death. But yeah, Borrowed does kind of look Spocky. I see that. I think this is a crueler fate, honestly, just leaving him to die. Actually, Zelphus, you want to get in here? Be able to use you. Over the headshot! Oh my god, this guy is so lucky. Yeah, I think we might be able to just bleed him. Which is kind of funny. So let's pop in here and then do a little backstab, which is a puncture. Nor's armor. The old dagger to the back strat. Oh, he's hanging in there. Come on, Zelvis. Oh, son of a bitch. Yes. That's right, Dino. Yeah. Okay, let's see. So our big damage here was actually our new sniper boy, our poacher we picked up. We just forgot to name him. I think that'll probably be Rudy. Not too bad though. Zelvis coming in second. The backstabbing at the end there. Got 2 level ups and I mean sort of spread kills on everyone except Yanks who got his ass beat. And we did. Nice. We got his patched mail shirt. So worth. Can you recruit the people you fight? No, you totally murder them, Fox. I think, anyway. Hoggart lies dead in a pool of his own blood, skewered into a grotesque and panicked pose. Tried to weasel his way out of this one. Oh, he didn't weasel. I was going to say he tried. You put a boot on his corpse and look at your men. You tasted blood that fight. That was actually such a dirty fight. Like when we just got Hoggart in the corner, we just kept poking him and letting him bleed out. For the company! For all the men who've fallen! Zelphus the half-man spits on the dead man's face. Let's take this bastard's head and get back to Upping! Okay, Zelphus. So let's see. Yanks, you have a broken nose, so you recover slower fatigue. You heal in 3 to 5 days. And a pierced side, so less fatigue as well. But that's okay, that'll heal up. Maybe we'll sit you right here for now, though. Which means we can just rotate these through. Let's go get Mr. Rudy over here. So, Dino. Okay. Okay. So, fatigue is good. Health is good. These are really shitty rolls, actually. I don't even know if I want to take a +1. I guess we'll... I'm probably going to go for melee defense over anything here. Because that was kind of, you know, not what I wanted. But it was okay. And you're pretty good. Like, I mean, you're already pretty good. 62 melee. Kill steal your ass off. That's right, yeah. And Zelphus, how are we looking? Okay, +4 to your range skill. That's excellent. He's a very good all-rounded character. There's even something to be saying for taking the melee skill here and transitioning Zelphus from crossbowman into, like, throwing weapon guy. Like, have him with javelins and then run in the fight after, because that is pretty good. It's kind of a low hit point roll, so fatigue is cool. Thoughts on that? Zelphus is actually, like, he's at the point where he could definitely do either. But I think maybe we do just focus on his range, right? We just have him as, like, a backup okay melee guy. Which lets me, I mean, I would like to do health. I'd probably range defense, though, so he doesn't get counter-sniped. That's probably what I would do. Yeah, I think we'll grab range defense. So, this is where you start thinking, is this a crossbow character? Is this a bow character? Is this, you know, like, how am I building them? Like, yeah, it's ranged. For bows, Crippling Strike is really cool because you can, like, you're going to be firing rapidly. You're getting multiple shots off. And this lowers the threshold to inflict injuries by 33%. So, with things like spears, like basically anything you can attack multiple times of the turn, you're likely to hit with, but not do a lot of damage. Crippling Strikes is crazy good. Because you're going to be sort of just screwing your opponent over slowly and making everything easier for everyone else. Otherwise, kind of hard to say. Maybe just Crippling Strikes anyway. Or student is also pretty interesting. Because our other bow guys is not necessarily... Like, Rudy here's not necessarily good at bow. He can bow.